Hey YouTube fans and train fans, this is Doug Train Depot. All aboard. Today we're going to be talking about landscaping and how I did it on downtown Atlanta on my layout. So I'm going to show y'all some different trees and things, how I made them up. Then we're going to go to the board. We're going to go to the train room and look at those trees in place. So, all aboard. I'm back. Thank you for staying on board. So we were talking about the landscaping downtown Atlanta. So I'm going to show you some couple of trees that I bought and I made. So this how it goes. Now, remember I told y'all can get inexpensive trees? That's this little guy. And you know, they black. They come in little black trunks like that. You see that? But I didn't like that color, so I always changed my color to either a dark brown or a grayish mixed with brown or something of that nature. So I'm just showing you the different trees that I was buying. Here goes another one. See the little foam tree? They just little foam. That's what this stuff made out of. But I'm gonna show you how to make them. So I bought this little tree. Now I got to the point. I said, okay, you know what? I want to make my own trees. And this what a pine tree you can buy look like. See the pine tree? Just like that, right? So this pine tree, so I'm going to show you the ones I made. So I made a pine tree look like this. See that? That's my pine tree that I made with wire. Put it on wire. See that wire down at the bottom? Remember I put a little hot glue on the base of the wire to cover the wire, and I put sawdust. And this is what my pine tree looked like versus this pine tree. Alright? So then I did another tree. Did more trees. So I'm just showing y'all how you can make your own trees, and I'm going to show you how to do them. Can look. And like I say, you can bend it because this wire, I can bend it to whatever shape I want, you know. So that's how that is. So I'm going to set this one down. And I bought this pine tree. See that? The pine tree was just like this pine tree, but all the stuff started falling off. So what I did, I just started cutting it out. And then I shaped it to this tree. And then I put more foliage on it and made it look like that. So I'm showing y'all the different trees because once it's all over with, I'm going to show you what I did downtown. Now I made another little pine tree, but I made it out of different material. I made it out of a mesh. It was like some kind of mesh you buy where you stick your plants in or whatever. Well, I took it and I cut them in round shapes, or you know, just semi-round shapes, and stuck them into a skew in different lengths. And then I sprayed it with hairspray, with women hairspray, because they're just glue. Sprayed it up, put my foliage on it, and just looked like that. That's another type of pine tree, right? So I showed y'all maybe about 4 pine trees already. Now, super trees. Well, this is what a super tree look like. It come in a box, and it's just a bunch of them, and you can just pull them like you see, like when parts is off, you can pull them loose like that, where it can look like just one tree. That's a super tree. You buy that by a box, and you pull them out, and you shoot the hairspray on it, and it make it look like these guys right here when you put the little foliage on it. Now, this one here was nothing but a skew. See the skew? I painted it brown gray. And this little part I pulled off that one, I drilled little holes in this little brown, in this little skew, and stick them in place. And that's what I made. Another tree. Whatever height I want. So you see how that tree look? That's really nice. I'm trying to save y'all money. I'm trying to save you money. Because super tree costs. They cost a little bit. They cost a little bit. So instead of throwing away the little pieces that you can't use or that fall off these little pieces here, you can make this with it, make some other trees with it. So then, staying with the super tree, when I get to super trees like this, where they're so short, then I put them on a little wooden base and use it for a background if I'm doing mountain, and I put it in the back of it to give you that, for making mountains, to give you that dead, like a dead look of a tree right against this tree, a little livable. So it gives you those different effects. So that's why I use different trees and make my own different height for trees, what I want to do. Now, moving on. Then I make Y trees. I made this little tree here. Now this is a different type of moth. This is a different type of moth. And now what I did, I make my little Y, see that's wire. Put my little foot where it can hold up. And I didn't put no foliage over this yet, because I kind of like how it look now. I really digging that look. So I said, okay, hey, I'll leave that like that. So I won't put foliage over it. So that's another type of tree. And that can be a poplar tree, it can be a oak tree, however, whatever you want to put in that spot. It can be, that tree can be that. So let me put this tree down and show you another tree that I have done. Now, moving right along. Here go a branch I found outside. And same stuff. Now, check this out. Remember I was telling y'all about the super trees, right? Well, I take a regular branch like this, right? And remember I was telling you the little parts that fall off these here, where they're not shaping like trees no more? This guy right here. Oops. This little guy right here, I take these little guys right here and put them right in my branch. See, I put them right in the branch. Then I put foliage on it. So I made a little pink looking tree. Because fall have different colors. But this is just a branch. I left a little stem off there. That make it give you that real realistic look. See that, y'all? Trying to save you money. I am going to save y'all money. But I need y'all to subscribe to my channel, where it don't cost anything. It just allows me to see that how many is with me, where I can keep on giving y'all tips and how to save your own money and make your own trees. And you can add their own colors in to blend them in to look just like the real deals. But it just take time. So I'm going to show you another tree that I made. Here we go. Another super tree with those little ends was missing. I made this tree. You see how I took the shape of it? And you can't mess up. You cannot mess up with these guys, because trees is all different shapes. You probably can go find a tree look like this. And you see how I made it where it's kind of dead in there too at the same time? Because I try to mimic close as possible to the real tree. So that's how I make my trees, y'all. And then we're going to get more in detail in how I make the trees, actually showing you how I make the foliage to go on it and everything by using the sponge. So we'll get to that, but right now we were talking about downtown Atlanta, how I did the landscaping on the side of one of my buildings was just all plain. So stay on board. All right, made it back. So what we're going to do now, we heading to the train room. All right, so I'm gonna have to turn on some lights, because I ain't turned my lights on in there yet, because I'm on my way heading in there. So it'll get a little brighter in here as I get in here and start turning on lights. So that's what I'm trying to do now, get to my point to turn on some light. So let me turn that light on, let me turn this light on, so y'all bear with me. So now we get ready to see what I did in downtown Atlanta with my landscaping, showing you those same kind of trees. All right, here we go. Remember back, we were talking about the railings? Well, I finally got the railings up. You see that? The railings is up. He goes, y'all seen these trees? Now you can understand what I did to it right here to make it look like a tree trunk. You know, that's what I did. Them trees I was telling y'all about, making your own trees. Even now you can buy some too. That's on you. I'm not gonna knock that. But this the area right here we worked on. Remember, if you look at my earlier video, you see it wasn't really nothing going on here really. And so what we did, we put the bushes in, put trees in place. I even put that door in that building, what didn't have a door at one point, and on the other side of that, I got to put another door on. And see, I'm taking my time with each thing I'm doing. So as I go, all my buildings are going to be changing. The ones who look plain, they're going to be changing as I go, even though I'm doing other things. Now, the landscaping here is coming up on the side of the road. I got to put a sidewalk. You know, that's still coming. And then I can put people in place. And I put a couple of little trees here. And now, don't get me wrong. Buy trees when you see a great deal on trees. And he got another little tree out of wire. I didn't get the paint. You know, I just painted it black. And I liked how it looked. So I'm going to put this tree somewhere. But right now, I just laid it down on top of my Amtrak loading area right now. But I was just showing y'all the landscaping. Now next week we're gonna do the Amtrak landscaping, and I'm gonna put the camera right on the board where you can actually see what I'm doing as I'm doing it. By also changing the color of the ground, because if I don't like a color, if you don't like a color on your ground, you can paint it to a dark brown or however color you want and just fill it in. And that's what we did here. In this part right here, where it was white, I painted it brown, earth tone, where it'll blend right in to what we was doing. So I was just showing y'all what we was doing for landscaping and how you can do the trees, how you can do the bushes. I'm gonna show you about bushes and all that. So y'all stay with me. Next week, we going to Amtrak and do the Amtrak station for landscaping. So stay on board, and God bless.